Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Family Law Talk.
Family Law Talk.
Presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC, with offices in the Midwest. Stange Law Firm is a family law firm. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. We have an interesting topic today. The topic is updating beneficiary designations after divorce, and this is based on an article on our blog, familylawheadquarters.com, dated October 4th, 2022. And the title of that article is, Have You Changed Your Beneficiary Designations After Divorce? So as a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to familylawheadquarters.com, check out that article, read it as a follow-up to the episode today. But let's go ahead and jump into the topic. Lots of parties who go through a divorce are tired, they're exhausted. The process itself can be excruciating, and there's follow-up stuff, though, that need to be done after the conclusion of a divorce that lots of parties inadvertently forget, or they just don't even realize the significance or the importance of it. And so take certain kinds of assets. It could be a life insurance policy, could be retirement accounts, could be investment accounts, it could be stocks and bonds, it could be bank accounts. But the reality is when folks are married, what they often do is they name their spouse as the beneficiary on these policies. So if they pass away, their life insurance policy, the beneficiary would be the spouse who would get the life insurance benefits. If there's a retirement account, the beneficiary would often be the spouse. Same with the investment accounts, the stocks and the bonds. And then, lots of parties when they're married have joint bank accounts. So then maybe this isn't an issue. But for some individuals that are married, they still maintain separate bank accounts. So husband has their own bank accounts, wife has their own bank accounts. They keep their money separate, but what they often do is do what's called a transfer on death or a payable on death, which indicates that if they pass, then ultimately the money in these accounts would go to their spouse, right? This is really common stuff for people to do when they're married, and certainly banks, when you open a bank account, it's going to ask, if in most instances, who do you want to be, the TOD or the POD? And certainly if you're investing money or you have retirement accounts, you're setting up life insurance policy, most of the forms that are part of opening these accounts will ask who you want to be the beneficiary. And again, it's almost always the spouse. And so at the conclusion of a divorce, all marital property and debt is to be divided, and it's to be divided in a just manner. But what lots of individuals forget is to go back and look at these policies. Do they want their ex-spouse to still be the beneficiary on these policies? Maybe in certain instances that would be the case, but from my experience throughout my career, that is very rare. Most individuals after divorce do not want their ex-spouse to be getting these assets upon their death. They want these assets to be ultimately disposed of differently, right? Maybe they want it to go to their kids. That's very common right after divorce, that they want these assets to go to their kids if they have them, not their ex-spouse. In other instances, they might want to change the beneficiary designations or the transfer on death or the payable on death designations. Maybe they want to change these to trust that they've created. So the money pours into a trust, and then there's a trustee who handles the disbursement ultimately of these funds, right? That can be very common. In other circumstances, a party might get remarried somewhere down the line, and so they want their new spouse to be the beneficiary of these policies. And again, there could be other possibilities. Maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's an aunt, maybe it's an uncle, maybe it's somebody that they're living with and residing with, but they're not married to, right? Lots of individuals in this day and age live together and they don't get married, and so maybe they want to just name their partner is the beneficiary, or the TOD or the POD on these accounts, right? But the reality is, again, lots of individuals forget about this. Lots of individuals don't think about it after the divorce. They're tired, they're worn out, and they just forget about this. And they don't think about it and they don't contemplate it. But the reality is that is almost always a mistake. That is not what individuals ought to do. So anybody going through a divorce and you've completed it, it's very important to have a conversation with your attorney about these assets. And certainly, most divorce attorneys, they're not bankers or financial planners in and of themselves, but hopefully they can lead you in the right direction in terms of where to go to make sure this is completed. And so talking to your attorney can be a good thing. Talking to your investment representatives, you have somebody who handles your money, can be a good thing. They can often tell you how to do this for you, particularly if they're handling these accounts for you. In the instance of a bank, if you go up to the bank, got a relationship with the bank, or maybe you don't, but just simply going in and speaking with somebody at the bank, they can give you these forms to make sure they're completed appropriately. But it's vital for individuals to do this. It's vital for individuals not to forget about this, particularly in those situations, again, where an individual who's gone through divorce would not want their spouse to get their money upon their death in any shape, manner, or form. So if that's not what an individual wants, it is very vital to update these designations. And I'll just say this as well. I've given some specific types of assets where beneficiary designations exist, or again, payable on death, transfer on death. Again, a little bit different each of these, but all kind of birds of the same feather, where it's these automatic transfers upon death. But there could be other assets out there that have these as well. So sitting down, talking with your lawyer, talking with somebody who handles your finances can be a key in this situation to ensure that these are all handled exactly as you would have liked it. There's one other variety as well you've got to think about, which is beneficiary deeds. Lots of individuals file what's called a beneficiary deed, which delineates where real estate would go upon death. So updating and changing that might be necessary as well. But it's just vital that individuals not forget about this, not overlook it. It's a relatively easy and painless thing to do, but it's important not to forget about it, not to overlook it at the same time. So again, as a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to familylawheadquarters.com, read the article dated October 4th, 2022, titled, Have You Changed Your Beneficiary Designations After Divorce? It'll give you a lot of good information, and it's definitely something you do not want to forget in most instances after divorce if you truly don't want your ex-spouse to inherit upon your death at some point down the line, all right? So thanks for tuning in today. Hope this topic was interesting. Stay tuned. Our next episode on Family Law Talk coming up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic, or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri or Illinois reviews or approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The information you obtain on this podcast is not, nor is it intended to be legal advice. You should contact an attorney for advice regarding your individual situation. We invite you to contact us and welcome your calls, letters, and electronic mail. Contacting us does not create an attorney-client relationship. Please do not send any confidential information to us until such time as an attorney-client relationship has been established. And finally, past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Kirk Stange is responsible for the content. Principal place of business, 120 South Central Avenue, Suite 450, Clayton, Missouri, 63105.
Let's face it, most people aren't making massive turkey feasts on the regular, and after 364 days of not thinking about it, it can be hard to get that bird just right. That's where Instacart, the holiday rescue app, comes in. From getting all the ingredients to prep a full seasonal spread to getting last-minute swaps in a turkey emergency, Instacart has everything a holiday host needs to save face and save dinner. And right now, if you download Instacart, you get free delivery on your first 3 orders and delivery in as fast as 1 hour. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.